Hello, my divas. This is the second time I have tried recording this video. I don't want to talk about it right now, but you know what? We're back. We're back and we're better than ever. I have a little bit of a new mic situation here. You guys will have to let me know if it sounds good. If it sounds really bad and like the audio's peaking and whatever, please let me know. I think I'll figure it out by the time I get to editing, but like I'm this close to buying a new mic and I really don't want to because I hate spending money, but I fear it's in my future. I'm realizing now I didn't even do my intro correctly. Welcome to my channel. My name is Maddie. Today, we're going to be ranking some Barbie movies. I grew up on Barbie. This was my entire personality for a good majority of my formative years, and I still think about them to this day, truly. There's so many things in these movies that I think about, reference constantly. And because of that, I was like, well, why not rank them all? Do the YouTube gods and algorithm fuck with that? Absolutely not. My last video, low-key bombing, is not good. But you know, we don't care about that, okay? We care about doing fun stuff. I thought that video was fun. Go check it out if you really want to. But I thought that we would just have like a fun little time for the girlies. If you're not part of the girlies club, you know, you can stick around if you'd like. This is all about Barbie. If you know nothing about Barbie or any of these movies, you might have a bit of a struggle, but you know, you don't have to. I can explain the plot a little bit in some good aspects about the movie, but there's kind of major spoilers. The vibes are kind of cozy right now, so let's talk about some Barbie movies. Obviously, we have to have a ranking system, so our first one is Diva. Diva to me is the utmost compliment. That's why all my viewers are divas. You guys are up there along with all of these incredible movies that are going up there as well. The second one we have is, well, yes. This is a phrase me and my sister love saying. We say it far too often, I think. It could mean a good or bad thing. It just depends on the context. In this context, this is a good movie. The next one we have is right. This is a joke phrase that I've stolen from the internet, people around me. And in this context, it's just kind of like, oh, right. Yeah, that's what it's giving. It's just kind of like a mid movie. Mid, not in a bad way. None of these movies are horrible, except for one that I can think of off the top of my head, but we'll get there when we get there. The next one we have is yeah, no. Not to be confused with no, yeah, which means like good. This one means yeah, no, as in no. It's just not very good, but that doesn't mean that it's horrible. It's not the worst movie ever. It's just something that just doesn't like align with me spiritually, metaphorically, physically, you know, all of the adverbs out there. And then finally we've lost the plot. Like, girls, where's Barbie? I think it's self-explanatory. Like, Barbie has lost the plot. We don't know what's going on. And now obviously, if I say your favorite movie is not the best one, this is not a personal attack against you, diva. I promise. This just means that I have some different tastes, and that's okay. We can all have different tastes because everybody needs a cheerleader. I think this might be a metaphor that only I have come up with. It's giving very much zombies coded. That was not intentional on my part. The first one we have on here is Barbie as the Island Princess. This movie was really special to me as a kid. It was one of my favorites, and I couldn't really tell you why. There wasn't like a specific thing. Sometimes these movies, there's a specific thing that like makes me love it so much. First of all, we have Barbie, our main character, as Ro, and she's kind of a diva in her own right. I mean, she is just living on an island by herself. Her little dress, like her white little dress, adorable. It's so cute. I know that it's not very conventional, but I don't care. I really like it. The animals. Something to be talked about in this movie. The elephant, I believe her name is Tinka. Is it Tika? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Tinka is from Shake It Up. She's the most annoying thing on the planet. I actually hate her. She's so awful and inhumane, if you will. Well, duh, she's an animal, don't get me wrong, but animals in the Barbie universe are kind of like beings in their own right. They're not really animals, you know, because they can speak. So it's not really a good comparison to say that they're animals because I think they are something different. She does give a mean blue-eyed stare, which low-key in this lighting, so am I. The prince in this movie, he's a man, for sure. This video is not going to be we love men. Just letting you know, because the men in these Barbie movies are not the point of the story. They never are, and they never have been, and they never will be. But I will talk about them just because, you know, they are there, and sometimes they add to the story, and sometimes they actually take away from the story. So it's important that we mention them. He sings a song with Ro at one point, and I really like that song. It's a very good song. It was my favorite song when I was a kid. I believe we had a Barbie DVD that just had like Barbie songs from various movies, and this was the one that I would just like spin. The lore of this movie kind of confused me when I was a kid. I can't say it's confusing now. It's really not that complicated, but it is the most interesting part of this movie probably because there's not much else going on. The villain of this movie, she's there. I think I'm gonna put her in, well, yes, because she's not a diva. I wouldn't say. I'd say she's kind of close. The next one, Barbie and the Diamond Castle, when I say that I was obsessed with this movie as a kid, is the understatement of the century. This was my favorite Barbie movie. My sister and I loved this movie. There's just something so comforting about two best friends who are definitely lesbians, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. Just, you know, going out there and exploring the world and helping another baddie in the process. I don't love Melody. She's not my favorite character in the world. Do I think it's her fault that she got trapped in a mirror? Of course not. But it doesn't mean she has to be somewhat annoying in the movie. Alexa and Liana, the two divas of the century. I love their before outfits, what they wear the majority of the movie. Very cute, love it. Their little princess dresses, adore. I had the Liana doll? No, I had the Alexa doll, which is shocking. My favorite color is pink, if it wasn't obvious enough. I had the Alexa doll, and my cousin had the Liana doll. And I remember when we got these dolls, I switched their crowns because I always thought while watching the movie that their crowns should be on the opposite person. They didn't match their dresses. So when I got those dolls, I was like, oh, it's my time to shine. I got this. And props to Maddie for having some sort of intuition there. The villain of this movie, Lydia, she's an interesting case, that's for sure. Her main thing is mind control, which I notoriously really don't like. It is a plot point that I absolutely hate. I do not like the concept of someone like not having control of their body and like their actions and stuff like that. I just don't like it. It makes me very uncomfortable. I gotta admit, Lydia does have some drive though, and I guess I gotta appreciate that from afar. Slider, really annoying. Very, very annoying. And kind of makes this movie a little bit unwatchable, but I mean, like it is for kids. So I do understand to a certain degree that's kind of like his whole point in the story. The animals, the two dogs, I don't mind their addition to the story because they do not make it hard to watch. And they're also really cute and they don't do anything that annoys me. So that's awesome. The men. So they are kind of the worst in this movie. I couldn't tell you their names except for one of them is named Ian. And the only reason I think I remember that at this moment is because Ian Peacocks. So is the other one named Jeremy? Is one of their names even Ian? Am I making that up? Guys, I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. They're British twins, for context, and I don't like them for a lot of reasons, but it's not because they're British. I don't know why you would think that, or why I even thought that someone would think that, but that's besides the point. They're just really weird, and they are low-key misogynistic, and by low-key, I mean they are high-key misogynistic. Do they change their mindsets by the end of the movie? Well, yes, they do, all thanks to women in the power of friendship, of course, and I guess we have to respect that in some right. Do I think that they deserve to be with either Alexa or Liana? Of course not. I guess them being British does kind of give them a little bit of charm, but not much. They, to me, don't really exist in this movie though. They're very, very side characters, and I love that because it makes this movie watchable. If they were involved any more than they already are, we would be having issues. I've talked this movie up and down, obviously. She's going in the diva category. She is a diva in her own right. Also, this movie looks really pretty. That is something that I forgot to mention for the first one. I don't remember anything about what it looks like, to be completely honest. Diamond Castle looks incredible. Like, the castle looks very pretty. And it's very pleasing to look at. Oh my god, how could I forget? So sorry. Their necklaces. Actually iconic in their own right. I have my own. As you can see, I did make this myself. She's a little janky. We don't look at the back. The next one we have on here is Barbie Fairytopia. A lot of lore with the Fairytopia series. I did not own these movies. My cousins, in fact, own these movies. So whenever I was at their house, I would watch them. I think maybe due to the access that I didn't have that much when I was a kid, I don't really have any nostalgia for these movies. I don't really have anything tying me to them. So when I've seen them recently, I just don't really care for them that much, actually. Do I think they're bad movies? Well, no. No, I do not. So I think for that reason, the entire series I'm gonna put them in right, because it's not, well, no. I should have named that category well, no. It would have been the counter to well, yes. Well, we already went over them, so we're gonna keep it as yeah, no, but just know that it also kind of means well, no. But I think putting them there, they're like in the middle. They just kind of exist to me. I don't really think about them that often, but I think they're like visually appealing movies. The next one on here is Barbie and a Mermaid Tale. I loved this movie so much as a kid that it like got me wanting to do surfing. I didn't live near an ocean. I guess you could claim I kind of do living in LA now, but I'm not going to go surfing. I don't really like the ocean. The concept of not knowing what's in there freaks me out. So that won't be me anytime soon. Competitive surfing, good for you guys. You guys are out there doing the most, and I love it. Also, a lot of attractive men out here surfing. Good on you. Barbie as Merlia in this movie is something that I think about very often. I did also have this Barbie doll. She was so awesome. I freaking loved her. I wish I still had all my Barbie dolls. I don't have any of them anymore because I moved houses when I was a kid and they did not come with me. This is the one that, like, for sure I would really want. Lately, like, the beach aesthetic has been kind of my hyperfixation at the moment, and right now she's my icon. She's my diva. I love the pink streaks and the blonde hair. Now that I'm blonde, you best believe this summer, it's shining through. My sister, she already beat me to it. She's low-key rocking that right now. But I love her swimsuit. If anyone knows where I could get her swimsuit, please let me know. And that blue jumper she has, so freaking cute. Guys, let me know. The animals in this movie, we have the dolphin. I believe her name is Sparkles. That is an assumption. I actually don't remember, nor do I really care. I like Merlia's friends in this movie. I like both sets. I think they're awesome. I especially really liked the dance that they do at the very beginning of the movie. My mom loves to tell me that story, that I used to do the dance all the time. And I'm sure that did happen. Do I remember this happening? God, no. And I'm not sure I really want to. I like the lore of this movie. It's very good. Do we think that the lore needed to be expanded? We'll talk about that later. We love a family rivalry. The Barbie movies love that idea. One of my favorite scenes was her trying on all the tails in the dress shop. I don't really know why, but it was just something that I really latched onto as a kid. And you know what I love most about this movie? No love interest. There's no love interest in this movie, and that is beautiful. That is powerful. Perhaps maybe this is why it was one of my favorites as a kid. Who's to say? I think you guys know, obviously, she's gonna be going in diva, of course. There's so many good things about this movie that I couldn't not put it in diva. The next one on here, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses. I really liked the concept of ballet as a kid. I was not in ballet. I really wanted to be, but I didn't really want to apply myself all that much. I liked the concept. I did do gymnastics as a kid, so it's like kind of close. Sorry, my phone literally almost fell and I have no idea what I was talking about. Barbie as Genevieve is an okay character. She doesn't really have a lot going on because there's 12 girls in this movie. There's a lot of girls to be talking about. I loved all the gowns in this movie. Very, very gorgeous. The villain of this movie, she's kind of crazy. It is not uncommon in these Barbie movies to like actually like want to kill your family member. So, you know, I can't say that that's insane behavior because it's just so common in these movies. It's actually pretty par for the course. The one animal I can think of off the top of my head in this movie is the bird, and I don't really want to talk about the bird. He's annoying as fuck. That bird alone should take this movie down a peg, but he's not in it that much. We have the one love interest in this movie. I don't know his name. I don't care to know his name. I think he's very cute. I like that fact that he's just, you know, a cobbler making shoes for the girls, and he just is so down bad for Genevieve. We gotta respect that. I think for all these reasons, I'm gonna put this in diva. It's a beautiful movie as well. Like, it's very pleasing to look at. I love the little circle thing and like they go on the steps. So there's something very satisfying about it. I'm not sure what. The next one on here, Barbie, A Fashion Fairy Tale. This was probably my second favorite, if not on the same playing field as Diamond Castle. If that doesn't tell you enough on where this is going to be going, we'll just put her up here. She's going in diva, and I'll explain why. So this movie actually introduced the concept of really liking fashion to me. It has stuck with me my entire life, so much so that I wanted to go to college for fashion marketing. Lo and behold, liking fashion and studying fashion, very different things, not the lifestyle I was built for. Regardless, this movie is actually really important to the Barbie lore. It introduces the concept of Barbie being an actress. She's filming this stupid movie with the peas. Me and my sister think about the peas a lot more than you might think. I don't know why. It solidifies Barbie as an actress, and that all these movies that she's doing is something she's acting in. That is crazy to me, and also so genius. It's incredible, and something I didn't even comprehend as a kid. I remember my mom had to explain this to me. Thankfully, my mother was there to tell me that there's lore to this. The lore actually in this movie kind of runs deep throughout the rest of the series, which is insane. Barbie is Barbie in this movie, if you did not know. Raquel. Raquel is messy boots in this damn movie. She is causing problems that, like, should Loki cause jail time. Like, it's insane what she's doing in this movie. Ken. You know, we have to admire that he did fly all the way to Paris just to tell Barbie the truth. And that was kind of all he could do, actually. There was nothing to say that he shouldn't have been doing that. That was the bare minimum, in fact, in this scenario. Nikki and Teresa are the best of all friends in this movie. They're not in it that much, but their screen time is well used. So they're also in A Mermaid Tale. Does that mean that they're also actresses and they were in A Mermaid Tale as her best friend? Things to think about. I think the answer might be yes. And I think I might be asking a dumb question, but we love Maddie making connections in the year 2026, like 16 years. 16 years after this movie came out. Holy moly. This movie also introduces the concept of Aunt Millicent, and she will come up later, but not as often as you might think, because this is kind of the only mention of Barbie having family outside of her sisters, and you would think that they would mention that more. But at the same time, Barbie is Barbie. She doesn't need her family. The villain of this movie, she's kind of a diva, I will admit. Should she be doing the things she's doing? No. But at the same time, like, she's just a hardworking bad. The animals. So Barbie has a poodle, if you didn't know. I don't know her name. And then the girl that works with her Aunt Millicent, I don't know her name. So sorry. So sorry, diva. I know that she is kind of iconic in her own right. I believe she has a dog, and the dogs are in love. I couldn't really care less about the animal relationships that happen in these movies. And, you know, I think that's okay. The setting, Paris. This movie alone made me obsessed with Paris for a good few years of my life. It's very chic. This movie is very chic. I will give it that. I also did have this Barbie doll where she had the reversible dress where it's like the light pink and then it's the diva dress. Also, the entire sequence of Ken being on the plane with that annoying kid is actually really annoying, and I don't like that part of the movie at all. Ken ripping his pants, very unclassy, very not cool. Was it his fault? Well, no, but it should be. I think all these points, they all make sense. There's some interesting parts of this movie, but overall, it's so important to the Barbie lore that it has to be up in Diva. The next one we have on here is Barbie, a Fairy Secret. Barbie, a Fairy Secret is like low-key connected to Fashion Fairy Tale because this is Barbie as well, which is confusing because it introduces the concept of fairies existing in the Barbie universe, like canonically, not the Barbie actress movies, not the movies that Barbie does, if that makes sense. This is like real Barbie, and fairies existing in that also doesn't really make that much sense to me, but that's okay. Barbie is Barbie in this movie. Well, she's Barbieing. The plot of this movie does revolve around like mind control of some sort. It is a love potion, which is, in a way, mind control. I don't love that. It actually makes me uncomfortable, and it's the main plot of this movie. Ken getting kidnapped. Well, did anyone notice? Barbie. Barbie noticed, and I guess that's kind of her right to do. I was not moved by this. Do I think that he should have been kidnapped? Well, no. Raquel in this movie, she's just kind of serving Raquel. But Barbie and Raquel, no one ever thought that these two would get along, and these two divas are getting along. They work it out on the remix, and we love that. We love to see it. This movie also kind of plays into the it actually really is connected to Fashion Fairy Tale in a way that I didn't even know was possible. I might have to make a video on that. Like, actually, like, these two are very connected. They're very sisters. There's a lady, I don't know her name, but she is like a fairy and she has like all these like potions and stuff, which saves Ken in the movie. She's also in Fashion Fairy Tale. She sits right next to the hot dog person. I forgot to mention the hot dog person. He's there. I forgot to mention the central plot of that movie, and the hot dog person is actually the plot of the movie. That's crazy. I also had the doll for this movie, and I remember one time her wings like fell off, and they're not supposed to do that or something. I think they're like detachable. I don't know. I don't have her anymore, so I guess I can't really fact check this movie. Where are we gonna put her? I don't actually think she's a good enough movie to be with her sister, so I'm gonna put her in. Well, yes, because it's not a bad movie. It's good. Like, it's an enjoyable time. Her friends in this movie who have powers. I can't be thinking about the logistics of this movie any longer, very truly. But I do like their magic. It's very cool. I like the little phones that they have. Very cute. I love the shoes in this movie. The shoes in this movie go crazy, actually. Also, Ken's little fairy wings in this movie. It's supposed to be a bit, and it's a joke. I don't think it's that funny. Sorry, I just don't really care about his plot in this movie. I don't care that he's fighting that other guy, but every time I hear the word duel, that is actually what I think of because they say it so many times in this movie. The next one is Barbie Mariposa. I could not tell you what happens in this movie. My cousins did own this movie, so I've seen it a few times. That's for sure. I just didn't really care that much for this movie. So I'm gonna put it in yeah no, just because like I didn't really care. Unfortunately, she has to go there. I don't think maybe she deserves to, but at the same time, I don't really know her that well. The next one is Barbie Christmas Carol. So one thing about me, I don't like the trope of a Christmas Carol. I don't like the Christmas past, future, present, those things. I don't care. It's a plot I don't really like. I've seen it so many times in my lifetime that I'm just like, I never want to see it again. And it wasn't the first time I'd ever seen this trope in this movie. I don't believe that this is canonically a film that Barbie has done. I think this is just a story that she's telling to Chelsea. I believe she's Chelsea at this point. She's no longer Kelly. I don't remember what the message she's trying to teach her is. I think the message is actually just the Christmas Carol. That would make sense after all. I like her friend that Eden has in this movie. They're low-key in love. You didn't hear that from me. I think there's a cat in this movie. I don't know. I don't really care enough about it to know what's going on. I think I'm gonna put her in yeah no. I don't think she's the worst movie ever. And like, we can't say we've lost the plot on A Christmas Carol. It's A Christmas Carol. Like, it's so classic that like you can't really go wrong. I just personally don't really like that whole plot. The next one on here is Barbie and the Three Musketeers. I didn't like this movie very much as a kid. I couldn't tell you why. I don't hate it now. It's not a bad movie. I do love girl power. I love the concept here. I don't think it's the best movie ever. It's like definitely not one of my favorites. Barbie as her character, whom I don't remember the name of, she's okay. And all the girlies, they're all okay. Like, it's so like bland to me. I don't really know why. I'm gonna put her in right. The next one on here, Barbie Princess Charm School. The plot of this movie is so interesting, and I'm shocked they actually didn't do it sooner. I like her friends in this movie. They're, kind of just there. I like the lore of this movie. Once again, we're trying to kill our family to take power. And I love that Delancey actually doesn't turn out evil. I think that's kind of the point. Like, oh yeah, she's not actually evil. She just kind of goes by what her mother does. Everyone is kind of diva gorgeous down. Blair's love interest. I don't like. I think that he's weird, and I don't normally trust blonde men. It's something me and my sister have to remind ourselves quite often that blonde men are not to be trusted, and this is like kind of a joke. Don't take this seriously, but like I like a lot of things in this movie. I like the fairies. I love Blair. She's kind of a diva for real. Is there animals in this movie? The dog. There's a golden retriever. I also had the doll. I really liked that her top was like plastic. It was actually it gave such a cool effect. I really liked that. I wish I still had her as well. It pains me that all of them are gone. It really hurts. There's nothing I particularly hate about this movie, but there's also not something that's like standing out to me in a way that I'm like, I love this. So I'm gonna put her in, well, yes, because she's a good movie. She's a good time. She has some good lore, but at the same time, she's not the best Barbie movie. Next one on here is what is the proper title of this movie? Doesn't matter. No. Barbie Thumbelina. Don't get me started. Barbie is real Barbie in this movie. So this is canonical, like real life Barbie. She is not Thumbelina. Don't be so fooled by the cover. Barbie is not Thumbelina. The Twillerbees are in fact real things that exist in the Barbie universe along with fairies. So I guess maybe fairies aren't really just that out there because I mean Twillerbees do exist. So the little girl, I don't love her in this movie. I don't really have a reason why. I don't like Thumbelina. Sorry, I don't like the Twillerbees in general. I think the concept of this whole movie is insane and I hate it. She's going in, we've lost the plot. We truly have. Barbie's not even in the movie. These are Barbie movies. So what is going on? I really don't know. Next one on here, Barbie, A Perfect Christmas. My family rewatches this movie every year for Christmas. This is one of my mom's favorite movies. Me and my sister sit there and we watch. This is not my favorite movie ever, but of the two Barbie Christmas movies, this one is definitely better. I do like this one a lot more. I actually hate Chelsea in this movie. She's the most annoying little shit. And she is a little girl. We have to give her a pass for that, truly. But she's so annoying and she like kind of ruins everything. And no one is yelling at her enough for that. And poor Stacy just has to sit there and deal with it because no one's helping this poor girl. I relate to Stacy so much, not because my sister would copy me growing up, because she actually wouldn't. I feel like I was in this scenario very often with other children. Skipper is off joining band this movie. And I respect that. I also like the fact that the lead of this group is low-key kind of serving Luke Hemmings. And one thing about Maddie, if there's a Luke Hemmings involved, she will be there. Barbie is Barbieing in this movie. She is being Barbie as in she is Barbie. This is a canonical Barbie in real life movie. The Elifs. Yeah, so they exist in this movie. Not to be confused with elves. They're Elifs, whatever that means. So they don't canonically work for Santa, but they do. They do. We all know that it's true that they do, and they just don't say that they do. There's the dog, Rudy, in this movie. He's a dog. I actually don't really think about him that often, but he is with Chelsea, so it's like it's ground I don't really want to touch all that often. Aunt Millicent, notably in this movie. Don't believe there's anybody else that's like a crossover. They reuse a lot of extra like models like when they're animating this film and all the Barbie films for that matter. So a lot of the people do look the exact same. So one could claim that all these people are the same people they are in all the same movies. I would go as far to say that because I think it's funny. Do I think this Barbie movie is the best one? No. Do I think it's the worst one? Also no. I don't know where to put this. The songs in this movie aren't great. They're really not. A good Barbie soundtrack can really elevate the film. I think I'm gonna put her in right. Do I watch it every year? Yes, I do. And I think I have enough experience to say that this is quite in the middle. Next one on here, Barbie and a Mermaid Tale 2. So, why are we expanding the lore from the first movie? Did we need to? No. Does this movie make any sense? No. No. We have an evil woman who wears purple. So there's only two colors in Barbie movies is pink and purple. I really have nothing to say about this movie. Truly, it shouldn't exist. It really shouldn't. What does it add to the first film? Nothing. Nothing. The concept of maybe whoever's wearing the necklace becomes a mermaid. That's a little interesting, I guess. Doesn't matter like if you're blood or not. You don't have to have mermaid genes. That's really interesting, actually. You don't have to have mermaid genes to become a mermaid. I don't like that lore. That's dumb. We're gonna put her in We've Lost the Plot because what the hell is that plot? It doesn't make any damn sense. The next one on here, Barbie, Princess and a Pop Star. Some could say incredible. Some could say the best. I really like this movie. I know a lot of people don't, and I actually understand. I understand they did Princess and Popper. Why are we doing it again with a pop star? It doesn't really make any sense. I hear you, but I present you a good time. Once again, we have pink and purple being the only colors that exist in the Barbie universe. I like this retelling. I'm sorry, I really do. I think it's kind of fun. Do I love them reusing one of the songs from Princess and Pauper just a little different? No, I think they could have done something else. But I guess I like the homage. That's very cute, very nice. I had both Barbie dolls from this movie, and I liked both of them. I liked that they sang. I liked that their dresses were like reversible in a way so that like you could have the nice pink princess dress and then it was like the sparkly one. And she had the purple princess dress. And then it like flipped around and it was like a high-low skirt. Not the vibe. I love it when people compare these divas to Sabrina Carpenter and Olivia Rodrigo. Nothing could be more true. Would I go as far to say that this is a diva movie? I think that I might get burned at the stake for saying that, but I really like it. Is there even love interest in this movie? I think there is. I don't care about them. I don't remember them. So, the villain of this movie, a man. Go figure. I don't remember much about what he's doing other than the economy is also going to shit. Similar to Princess and the Pauper, they actually are one-for-one retellings, pretty much. Except, one's a pop star. Animals, they have dogs. Do I know their names? No, I don't care to look it up. Barbie's character. She has a magical hairbrush that changes her hair, like what it looks like. I wanted that so badly as a kid. And I think that's actually like a fair thing to want. What does our purple diva have? The microphone. The microphone that changes outfits. Don't ask me how those two things correlate. I'm not sure. But, that would also be really nice. I'm gonna put her in, well, yes. I think that I'm okay with saying that she's not one of the greats, but she's a really good time, and that's all that matters, truly. The next one, Barbie in the pink shoes. Why this movie exists is beyond me, because they go through Swan Lake. And if you don't know, Barbie already did Swan Lake. So why are they doing it again? I don't know. One of my favorite lines is actually from this movie, and it's when she's in the village and she's like, I'm only 18. And he's like, whoa, you look great. For 18, I would have never guessed. I would have thought you were 16 because people died like at 30. So that was actually like low key old. And that was a little bit funny. I won't lie. That's pretty hilarious. They're not doing Swan Lake. What am I talking about? No, so sorry. We're looking it up. I don't know.
My favorite kind of Pepsi's Pepsi.
Okay, so it's kind of Swan Lake. Girl, I don't know. I'm giving up. I'm giving up with the plot of this movie. It doesn't really make any sense to me right now, and it literally never has. She goes with her friend. Her friend, you want to guess what color she wears? I believe it's purple. The plot of this movie does kind of revolve around like forcing someone to do things. I don't know if it's actually mind control. The Snow Queen, she does in fact make her friend dance, and she won't let her stop. And I don't like that. I don't like people being forced to do things that they don't want to do. We're gonna have to knock her down for that, for sure. The concept of this movie having magical pink shoes that get you to different lands, and then she just has to go and like dance like nothing happened. It's a little weird. It's a little far-fetched to me. It doesn't make any sense. Do I love the ballet aspect of this movie? Of course I do. Of course I do. When will Maddie never like a ballet movie? Never. It's never gonna happen. I don't like the thing going on. I'm gonna put it in, yeah, no. It's definitely not the worst that they've ever done, but I don't like what's going on there. The next one, Barbie Mariposa and the Fairy Princess. When I said I didn't fuck with Mariposa, it's a true statement. I don't fuck with that first movie. I fuck with this movie. For some reason, I owned this movie. I didn't own the first one, but I own this one. So I watched this one a lot more, and I like this one. I think it's really cute. I like the fact that she has a friend now. Does this movie make any sense to me because I don't really understand the lore of the first one? No. But it is vibes. I'm having a good damn time. So I'm gonna put her in, right. There's animal friends similar to Bibble and all of that. So I think that movie being on the same level as the Fairytopia series. Could I put her in? Well, yes. Yeah, but I wouldn't put her up with those girlies. I think that she might be just down a peg a little. But all Barbie movies are beautiful movies. Some are just better than others. That was a great segue to Barbie and her sisters in a ponytail. I think that everyone has the same consensus. Like, we all agree on this movie. We've lost the plot. What are we talking about? Trust, I've seen this movie. I own this movie. What are we talking about? Sure, magical horses. Why not? Girl, why not? Why are we racing competitively horses? Why is there an evil short man? I don't know. What are her sisters doing? I think Skipper likes a guy. Shocking. Is he Luke Hemmings? Well, no. So then does he matter? No. Barbie is canonically Barbie in this movie, as we know. It doesn't make any sense. So for that reason, she has to go there. The next one is Barbie the Pearl Princess. I remember seeing this movie because I own it. I do own this movie. I remember having the Barbie doll. She was kind of forge, kind of love. What this movie is about is beyond me, other than the fact that I know it's actually kind of similar to Mermaidia. So why are we making the same movie twice? I say, as I put Princess and the Pop Star in, well, yes. Yes. Well, yes. They're like virtually indistinguishable to me. I'm gonna put her in, yeah, no. I'd rather watch Mermaidia. She's more classic. Okay, next one is Barbie and the Secret Door. This is the last Barbie movie I bought on DVD. I did have Barbie, like her character. I don't know her name, so sorry. I did have her doll, and she was kind of gorgeous. I actually did like her a lot. Do I like this movie? No, I don't. It's kind of dumb. And I know that there's a whole war over new Barbie versus old Barbie. I am part of the old Barbie war, don't get me wrong. This movie is like, this is truly the bridge between the two. This leans more to new Barbie to me than old Barbie. I will admit she is a lot more old Barbie than like the new ones, don't get me wrong. But at the same time, I just didn't really care much for this movie. I do own it. Do I think that we've lost the plot? No. Actually, I think that there's a lot of good Barbie elements to this movie that make sense with the rest of the world. So I'm gonna put her in, yeah, no. Sorry, Dave. so sorry. This is incredible. We have a row of classics right here. I'm so excited. The first one we got, Barbie and the Nutcracker. I don't need to sugarcoat. She is a diva. This is my favorite Barbie movie as of right now today. This has been my favorite Barbie movie for like the last few years in my adult life. I love this movie. This is the very first Barbie movie. I remember having the DVD as a kid. It got lost. I didn't watch this for a good amount of years because of that reason, but I did rebuy it because I wanted to like complete my collection, of course. It's so good. It is just so classic. It's a very interesting retelling of the Nutcracker, that's for sure. And do I think it's better or worse? I don't really care. The Rat King is such an interesting villain in this movie. I don't even know what his goal is other than be like a dictator. I think that might just be it. I love all of the plot points of this movie. It's just like everything makes sense. This is one instance where the male character actually does indeed help the movie. The Nutcracker is really hot. That might be crazy to say. I actually don't think it is. I think people might agree with me on this. And I mean the Nutcracker. When he turns back into the prince, you know, he just looks like a Barbie male character. Like, there's nothing special. There's not much going on there. As the Nutcracker, there's something so special about him. They're kind of witty. Like, they've kind of got like a little bit of banter going on, and I kind of love that. Also, her dress as the Sugar Plum Princess. Am I right in saying that that's it? Yeah, there's no Sugar Plum Fairy in this movie. She's the Sugar Plum Princess. They change a few things, and I kind of respect the changes. Like, they're trying to make a cohesive story here, and I respect that. Her dress is so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I would love to remake it, but where would I have to wear it to? Nowhere. So it actually is not like a viable option for me to do, but that's okay. We can just think. We can think about it. All of these reasons have to go in Diva. Also, like, it's a Christmas movie, so you can rewatch it every year. The next one, Barbie Rapunzel. Also another iconic movie. I really liked this one as a kid, even though it's just the story of Rapunzel. We kind of all know this story. They don't really change anything about it, except for the fact that her paintbrush is magic. That is one distinct difference from many other retellings. I remember having the book for this movie. I remember really liking the dragon when I was a kid, and that's really shocking to me. I never really liked the animals all that much, so this just feels like the story of Rapunzel to me. There's definitely some Barbie aspects to it, don't get me wrong, but it's also just kind of like, that's Rapunzel. And for that reason, I think I'm gonna put her in Right. She's just in the middle. Like, I don't hate her. I guess maybe the only reason I don't put her up higher is just because, like, there's not much of a original Barbie story here. This is just Rapunzel. And that's okay. The next one, Barbie Swan Lake. As you guys know, I love ballet. So I'm gonna love Ballerina movie. It's freaking Swan Lake, for crying out loud. I believe she's still Kelly at this point. There's a message in this movie, and I forget what it is. Maybe it's like helping people, because that's what Odette does. Sure. Maybe it's helping people. This movie is visually stunning. It is so pretty to look at, and that is an obvious reason to rewatch. The unicorn in this movie, she drives me nuts. I hate her. I think she's so annoying. I understand, like, you can't really trust every human you meet because there's one terrorizing them, but at the same time, like, Odette is just a girly. What in the world? The other animals in this movie, I don't really think about them. The prince, I don't think about him. I don't really care. The villain, I forget his name. It eludes me at this moment. His daughter, I think she's hilarious. Like, I love the fact that she's actually just kind of really annoying. Do I love that she's evil? Well, no, but she gets a pass. This movie is more vibes-based than truly anything else. The plot is kind of non-existent, but that's because it's adapted from a ballet. Like, there's truly nothing you can do much about that. But the vibes, incredible. It's also, as I said, so visually stunning. So I'm gonna put her in. Well, yes. Do we think it's fair that she gets to go on top of Rapunzel? Well, perhaps not. I never claimed that this was objective. So, next up is Barbie, Princess and the Pauper. I don't need to explain to anybody why this movie is an instant diva. She's a diva. We all know this. She is the blueprint for most anything. Some could claim that I am a hypocrite. You're saying, Maddie, you put Rapunzel in the middle and you're putting Princess and the Pauper on top. That's an adaptation from something else. Well, yes. But the last time I checked, Princess and the Pauper didn't have songs that are really good. I recently watched the video by Jordy's Computer, and it reminded me why I love this freaking movie so much. It's so good. There's so many good plot points and elements of this movie that, like, actually make it what it is. And, you know, you could go and claim, well, that's because it was adapted from something. No, they added a Barbie flair to it. Did the original Princess, actually, it was Prince and the Pauper, gag, Princess. Preminger was not, to my knowledge, in that. And nothing can ever beat the iconicness of Preminger. So the fact that Martin Short doesn't remember doing that doesn't sit right with me. Like, how could you forget the absolute icon that he is? I also love the songs in this movie. As I stated, they're very good. It's probably one of the best Barbie soundtracks. The love interests, well, I don't really care much for them, actually. Julian, he's kind of a div, I'll give him that. He's low-key serving. The prince, girl, I don't even remember his name. I love that Erica likes him, and I'll support my girlie in her endeavor. Next we have Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus. This movie I didn't own as a kid, believe it or not. this might come as a shock to everyone. I think my cousins might have had this movie. I never watched it when I was a kid. I recently purchased it within like the last 2 years. It was not very recent, but you get the point. And I love this movie. It's so good. It's like low key fire. And I did have the book, and I still do. I actually do have the book still. So that was the way I think I consumed the movie when I was a kid. But I love the lore of this movie. There's not much lore to be had in this movie, actually, but it's good enough. The villain, his name eludes me. I don't care. I don't remember his ambitions of why he was turning people into stone. I don't know, nor do I really care. He's just kind of there, for the plot. She meets a polar bear in this movie. The polar bear, fine by me. Actually, I don't really care at all. Barbie as Annika. Annika is a diva. Also, her dress at the very end, so cute. I also love her dress throughout most of the movie. I don't remember much of her ambitions in this movie other than she doesn't want to do what her parents tell her to do, and that's fair. The men of it all. Aiden is the man in this movie, and I know his name because I actually really like him. I think he's one of the better Barbie love interests. He's just so witty and like quippy, and I love that. I love their banter that they have. It's like so good. The fact that her sister is a Pegasus is interesting to me. Something I don't want to think about that often. The light stick or something. I forget what it's called. Interesting. It's the plot of the movie. All right, sure. Do I think this movie is one of the greats? I actually don't know. I'm actually very torn between diva and well, yes, because this movie, I guess I just haven't like had that much time with it. Maybe I'm like, does it deserve to go up on the top with these movies that I've loved for years? But I will admit, I do like the relationship. I think she has to go in diva. She's going in diva. Nobody moved. Okay, so we only have 2 left because I haven't seen any of the other ones at the bottom. The next one we have is the Barbie Diaries. So, this is an interesting movie. Different animation, different ideas, plots, whatever's going on. Barbie's in high school. I love it. This movie is so Y2K. And I will love anything Y2K. If it's not authentic Y2K and it's like the aesthetic Y2K, I'll still eat it up. I don't care. I really don't. That's why I'm like, I really like this movie. I don't like the men very much. What they're doing in this movie kind of annoys me, but Barbie is with her friends. That's all that matters to me. I'm gonna put her in, well, yes. I actually don't own this movie. I've had to watch this in various ways throughout the years. And then finally, we have Barbie Video Game Hero. Don't ask me why I've seen this. I actually don't remember where I watched this or why I have, but I know I have. I know it. I've seen it in my head. I believe I was in like a coding class or something and we watched it because it has something to do with coding because they're in a video game. Go figure. This is a newer Barbie movie in case you didn't know, in case you haven't seen it, which I wouldn't blame you. So I don't remember much about the point of this movie. She goes into a video game. To me, this is we've lost the plot. Not just because this is a new Barbie, not just because of that, but at the same time, like, I'm sorry, this wouldn't have happened in 2010. It really wouldn't. It really wouldn't have. For that reason, it just has to go there. Like, this, I understand that is Barbie and that is in fact what she's doing in this movie, but like, that's not Barbie. And there we have my rankings of all the Barbie movies that I've seen. Those new ones, not my business. I'm not watching those. I've heard that they're bad. They sound silly. If you think my list sucks, don't tell me. I don't want to know. But please tell me your rankings of the Barbie movies down below if you feel the need to. Do you agree with my diva list? I think that my diva list, I think it might be biblically accurate. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I have some other ranking videos if you want to watch those. I wouldn't say I recommend them, but I did just do a video where I ranked all the Disney and Nick shows that I watched when I was younger. I really like that video. No one else on YouTube did, but it's fine. I actually don't really care all that much. But if you want to see that, go ahead and give it a watch. I did have a new uploading schedule planned for this year. I was supposed to do twice a month and I already failed on that. It's probably going to end up being once or twice a month depending on how busy I am, but always look out for the 2nd and the 22nd. Please subscribe if you like these videos. I will continue making them. I already have some ideas of some other things with a fun little twist. Then it's not all super boring and just me talking about nothing for an hour. That is all I have today. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.